Hi, this is Matt Bernstein, and I'm with Dennis J. Smith, and this is the Make Money Online show, where every week we have a unique guest that will help you make money online.
So, hey everybody, welcome to the Make Money Online show. My name is Dennis Smith, and I'm here with Matt Bernstein and also Chris Greenwood, who is our guest today, and he's a musician. I've known him for a while because I helped him out with some stuff months ago. And just give him some advice on his courses that he has on Udemy, which he has a lot more courses than I do. And they revolve around the music industry and also how you can, as a musician, how you can take what he teaches and market your own music business and grow your music business online to make the kind of money that Chris does. And so Matt and I are going to talk to him today and just ask him about that and his secrets and his tips and advice, because I think that you can take a lot of what he teaches and translate that over to other types of businesses that aren't in the music industry. So, hey, welcome finally, Chris, to the show.
Yeah, honored to be here, man. It's kind of interesting being here. You know, I don't know when it was I first saw you and Matt, but it's kind of funny being on this podcast now because I found it on YouTube or somewhere. I don't know where I was. I was searching Udemy, and so here we are, man. Honored to be here.
Great. Hey, so are you in Toronto today?
I am. Yep. I'm actually just outside in a city called Pickering, actually.
Great.
Yeah.
We know couple of people. I know that Scott Duffy's up there in Toronto. He's a Udemy instructor, and
oh, cool, man.
Sometimes he's here watching the broadcast, but I know that he's got a lot going on. So I'll start things off and just kind of we'll go through these questions that we have for you. Share a little bit about your music background. Tell people like the band that you're in and kind of how you got started with that.
Yeah, I'm in a rock hip hop I'm a solo artist called Manifest, M-A-N-A-F-E-S-T, and I've been doing this full time, I guess, for over 10 years. I used to be a network engineer, actually. I used to be an IT guy, but I ended up quitting my job. I went from 5 days a week to 4 to 3, and then I took leave of absences, and then finally sent in that resignation later and quit. And it was one of the scariest things because I did it like a year after I just got married, and just started to pursue this career in music. And I went into $30,000 plus debt within a few months. I thought I was going to be a rock star, making all this money and whatnot, and I'm sleeping on the side of the road in my car, eating at the dollar menu at McDonald's, and it just wasn't turning out the way I thought it would, you know. And but I didn't quit. I didn't give up. And somehow we blew up in Japan, selling hundreds of thousands of albums there. Like literally get a call from my record label saying like, you know, you're big in Japan. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny, man. You're big in Japan. And anyways, we ended up touring there and doing all this stuff. And it kind of breathed new life into my career in North America. And so that's the main thing that I do is songwriting, touring, playing live shows, and releasing music.
You decide to market your music talent online?
Yeah, as far as music online, when YouTube has gotten really big for both online marketers, musicians, one of the cool things people don't realize about YouTube is, one, it's the second biggest search engine on the internet besides Google. But the cool thing I tell other artists and just online marketers, like when you're putting content up there, people are searching for that and finding you automatically. And the cool thing about music is people upload my music for me, but I've monetized all that. And so I have one song that has been uploaded 9,000 times to YouTube, and we collect money on every single one of those videos. And so we actually encourage fans to upload my music, and I don't care if they put cats in it. One of the videos we have has these pit bulls just doing these insane tricks to one of my best songs. It has over 9 million views the last time I checked. It has more than the music video that we did. So it's really neat how the multiplication factor and the viral thing can take place. And so I love the internet. I think YouTube is still the wild, wild west. I know everybody talks about Facebook ads and stuff, but I think both for, you know, artists and just creative types and online marketers, I think you're paying pennies on the dollar for YouTube ads compared to Facebook, is my opinion.
So I've got oops, hold on. Oh, I wasn't sure if I had taken it off of mute or not. I don't like to have it on when other people are typing because I'm actually over here putting in some links for your Udemy courses and also your website, smartmusicbusiness.com. And for some reason on my end, I'm showing just a big white space. Normally, it's supposed to come up with an image. But before I move on to the next question, I just wanted to give everybody some reminders. You can share this blab out with others on Twitter and Facebook. It'll capture a screen image of all of us. So, hey, we'd love it if you did that and shared that out to others out there in social media. Matt's pointing that way because it's probably there for him. And up above, you can connect with Chris, Matt, myself, and others who are joining us on this blab. I see Barbara's there, and I see Sue and some other people. So thanks for joining us today. And also, if you have questions, we'll take questions at the end for Chris. It's a /Q, a space, and then your question. And we would be more than happy to take those questions at the end of the blab. And high five or props right there, those hands, if you click on those, it'll give us high fives if you like what we're talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and move on while Matt raises the roof there. So we were talking about, I think I heard YouTube there. I'm trying to multitask. Where did you first start with this kind of stuff, and what would you suggest for our listeners? Should they maybe like do a website like you, or maybe use something like WordPress to get their start in pulling everything together for their band or whatever they're doing in the music industry?
Yeah, I think, having a YouTube channel is really important, and it's the easiest thing to get started. And again, you can upload music right away, and it's free, and you start monetizing it. Like, YouTube actually pays people money. I get checks from YouTube, so I encourage artists to start there. I think eventually, though, you need to have your own website. You need to have your own hub. Look what happened to MySpace. I don't know if some artists or people are around there, but I spent a lot of hours building MySpace, and it is gone. And so it's really important to build your own home base, collecting email addresses. Another place I use for collecting email addresses and just getting your music out there is Noise Trade, where you can give your music away for free in exchange for an email address. And they actually have something called Book Trade too. Give away your book in exchange for an email address. You actually might want to check that out for your book.
Yeah, thanks.
Dennis, and you can actually do a promotion with them, and they blast out your book to their list, and it costs money, but they can tip you, which is really cool. And so, you're amazed at how when you give something away, you're generous, people tip, and you actually make some money on it too, which is kind of cool. But websites are so cheap to set up, right? Like whether it's your Wix, whether it's your WordPress, and hiring people on Fiverr, like there's just like, you just got to do it. Like, just spend the money. Like, it's so easy to waste money in so many areas. Like, try setting up a website. You could what? Like, I don't know what you guys think, but probably less than $50, I guess you could probably, with domain and everything, right?
Yeah, totally. I think that YouTube, I totally forget about that because Matt and I talk about YouTube all the time with driving traffic to your Udemy courses, and you forget that, even though I'm not a big fan, we know who from Canada got his big start on YouTube, and that's Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
So there's huge potential there. And like you said, you never knew that you had this following in Japan, and from that, everything else just evolved.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have some friends called Walk Off the Earth that did a lot of different covers and stuff like that. And they did that one cover, One Guitar, Five People, when they were covering that Gautier song, somebody that I used to love. And it just blew up and went viral. And, all of a sudden getting called to be on the Ellen Show and all this stuff. And so covers are a really great way to it's kind of like almost like compared to doing covers of other popular songs, like guest posting. But even more, if you do it at the right time and you do it well and you do it uniquely, basically hopping on somebody else's already success and getting in front of new people. And so I personally haven't done that strategy. Like I don't know what I'd cover, like some Rage Against the Machine songs or Linkin Park or something like that, so I haven't personally gone that way. It's more just with original songs, but opening up for other bands is kind of one way that we've done it. I don't know if authors or speakers allow you to buy onto their speaking tour and let you speak in front of them. That might be kind of weird unless it's the same subject, but so many different ways to promote and market.
Yeah, good. Go ahead, Matt.
So it seems like you're a very successful musician. So I want to know how you got started teaching online. Like how long ago was it Udemy? And I guess why, if you have such like a big successful musician career.
Yeah, you're not the only one who's asked that. It's like you've already got the dream job. Why are you doing that? Like just focus on that. And honestly, that's one thing that sometimes I struggle with is focus because I just love online marketing. I enjoy it. And when I had my daughter, I wanted to be home a little bit more, so I was trying to figure out new ways to like make money and be home with my family. And I stumbled upon Brendan Burchard and Michael Hyatt and went to Experts Academy and I wrote a book called Fighter, 5 Keys to Conquering Fear and Reaching Your Dreams because I really struggled with fear. And so I was just trying to get my message out there more because our kind of mission has always been threefold. It's been to entertain, inspire, and educate. And so the entertainment is the music, inspiring is also the message in the music, and then educate is now through the books and online courses and whatnot. And so I kind of like fell into it just after doing the books and whatnot. It's like, oh, people are creating online courses. Oh, that's kind of cool. And I didn't fully get it. And sometimes when you're into this world of online marketing, there's webinars, there's blabs, there's ebooks, there's audiobooks, it's all this stuff. It can be very, very overwhelming. And the more I dug into it, it started to come clearer and clearer. I listened to the Internet Business Mastery podcast, Jason and I can't remember the other guy's name. But anyways, that's where I heard about Udemy the first time. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. And for some reason, like, Udemy just clicked. Like it could have been anything. But I went home and I was like, I'm going to do this. And I started to write it out. And then I actually went to Starbucks and I just outlined my whole course. And then we set up my wife's Mark II Canon, like expensive camera, had myself mic'd up all properly and started shooting these videos. And I was just like all in. It's like a 6-hour course now. Okay. So I kind of did it the wrong way where your first course is this big, huge thing. And while I'm shooting these videos, I'm just like, I'm an idiot. Like, why am I doing this? Is anyone going to buy this? That's when the fear starts chattering in your ear and the doubt. And I finished this thing. I think the first month, I made $160 out of it. And this is the other thing too. You finish your first course and then the fear, you're scared to create it. Then you're scared to market it, right? So slowly I kept on marketing it and then I didn't touch it for a year. And then I started checking out some of your guys' stuff. And then Shane and Jocelyn from Flipped Lifestyle, I don't know if you heard of them. They're this couple that teaches online business. They told me to raise my price. And that's when I started running Facebook ads and getting them into the funnel and doing the opt-in pages, everything that I learned at Experts Academy, but it just didn't click. And then I was spending maybe, I don't know how much. I'd get 100 emails and I'd spend maybe $100 on that, but then I'd sell a $300 course and I'd upsell them and I was starting to make money. And then I just started creating courses and Jerry Banfield helped me a lot with Udemy. That guy's really inspiring. I know some people don't love his voice. It's a little hard, but I think he's just so passionate and so real. And he really kicked my butt and inspired me to make courses. And so now here I am, 23 courses later, chatting with some of my inspirations on this blab, and I love it,
Thank you for sharing that. It was a really inspiring story, and I like a lot of the things that you just said with your whole plan of, how your music gets into it, and then you also want to educate the people too. So I appreciate that and like it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like you mentioned Jerry, and I guess I'm one of those that with a voice, and I think that you have to get beyond that so that you get the message that the person is trying to get out there, and because that message might resonate with you and be able to help inspire you to get that much further. And so I myself have to get over stuff like that. Let's see. I was going to ask you, so I kind of talked about this a little bit at the beginning, is that we talked about how a lot of your courses are built around the music industry, but like I said, I would imagine that anyone in any industry would benefit what you're teaching. Is that something that you would agree with?
think as far as the marketing aspect and some of the inspirational things I weave in there, there's a lot of, gems and gold in there, because I do talk about the business stuff. I talk about the mentality stuff, because, let's be honest, we all have fears and doubts and whatnot. And I think it's always a battle against ourselves, and focus is another one too. And so just, believing in yourself enough to take action on something. And then once you take action, stay with it, stay within the journey, stay on the path. Don't quit too early, and I'm sure we can all relate, I think, Matt, you got a pretty cool story with the eBay and stuff and teaching and whatnot. Nothing's overnight. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Yeah, things happen. Like I blew up in Japan after my first EP was in 2001, so it was 5 years of hustling it and being on the road. And Udemy now, I guess it's just been over a year since I've taken it seriously, and now making a pretty decent income on there. And so it's I think whenever anyone's teaching something, I've always heard it say you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. You just grab what you relate to, apply it to your life, and then discard the rest.
Yeah, interesting. Hey, Matt, before you ask the next question, I have something really quick to ask him about, because we're mentioning Udemy. Has this new price change, has that affected your revenue much, or have you been able to kind of get through the storm?
Yeah, last month was lower than I wanted it to be, for sure. I even emailed some of the people at Udemy, and they had actually called me before it was going to happen, and just kind of mentioned it. And so it is down a little bit, but this month is already starting to go back up. And last month, again, like I do put a lot of work into Udemy each month, but sometimes I can't put as much because music is my main focus, and so sometimes I'm juggling or whatnot. But I think I did crank it up as far as getting some coupons out there as well too, to promote, and kind of doubled up on that a little bit. And so I'm hoping for a turnaround here. I just co-instructed my first course with my wife, which we just actually released last night, and starting to promote it today. And so just going to keep pushing through. Like, Udemy's amazing, and I'm going to go to Udemy Live. Are you guys both going to that?
I've got a ticket, but I've got to get the accommodations figured out, and and if I'm going to go plane, train, or automobile. So
right. Yeah, I'm literally playing a show the night before and then flying in the morning. But since at least it's West Coast time, so I save a little bit of time there. But I love Udemy. I want to keep building on there, but that's not my only platform. Like, I want to keep building somewhere else and build up the email list and something that I control. But I like you said, I've heard both of you guys say Udemy's been good to us. It's been really good. But I don't believe in putting all my eggs in one basket either.
Yeah. All right, Matt, go ahead.
So with the new pricing change, how are you going to market your courses on Udemy, at least going forward? Or are you going to just market your own platform, and whatever Udemy does is just icing on the cake for you?
Yeah. As far as courses and promoting them, I gave away a ton more coupons. So that was one thing, just to get more people into the course. I want to create another free course, because I only have one free course, so I want some more of that traffic. And then me and my wife have actually committed to every single Wednesday we are creating a course together. And so yesterday was our first one, and so we're going to create a course that's going to be kind of our thing together. I've got an amazing wife. She does all my design and photography, and just and so we've gone through a lot of stuff and got some knowledge we want to share. And so that's going to be part of it. And it's really important to use your promo announcements. You get 2 of those a month. And for those that don't know the promotional announcements, Udemy allows you to sell your courses to your students twice a month. You can send 2 messages out to, I guess, each individual course. And you can decide when you're sending your email blast through the Udemy system what courses you even want to promote to. And so I really, I don't miss, now, once I figured out it started working, I haven't missed a month. Those get used up. That's free money as far as I'm concerned. They do very well for me. I felt like you wanted to say something there, Matt. No? Did you want to comment on that? No?
Yeah, definitely scheduling and organizing and using those two promotional announcements.
Yeah.
I know that when I like once per month, I'll go in and I'll schedule what I'm going to do for the rest of the month, and utilizing those promotional announcements, I fare a lot better and I'm more successful doing that than just kind of winging it.
Yeah, for sure. And the educational ones there actually depends. Like for this, I sent out an educational announcement to promote our blab, or if I'm on an interview or I have some content that I want to send out that I think's good, then again, that's just scheduling, and it's really important to schedule ahead of time. I really need to crank up my Facebook ads again, and I use lead pages to collect email addresses and have my funnels to send out free content. I was originally using that only to get people into my membership, because I have a membership site where people pay reoccurring every month, which has been really awesome. But I'm going to do another one that is going to promote them probably to Teachable as opposed to Udemy, to be honest. So I'll upload videos to YouTube with the Udemy links in there and use those announcements. So it's kind of like, now that I'm like thinking about it, it's a lot, right? But I'd rather send people from my funnel to Teachable or something that I own, as opposed to spending my Facebook ads. Like, sure, I'll get the email, but then when they even buy, the only way I know if they purchased is if they clicked on a very specific coupon. And one time I got a $297 course when they allowed us to sell them at that. I got a sale, and somehow it didn't, I know I drove that sale, but then Udemy went and took 50%. And so I had to actually email them and say, hey, no, I drove that one. And they actually gave me the money back, which was really cool. So they're definitely instructor supported. So I plan on doing a lot of different things. Mixing in the Teachable, Udemy, Facebook ads, uploading portions of my course to YouTube for free traffic, and just give people a taste, right? So that they know it's good, and then hopefully will enroll in the course if they think it can help them.
Can you guys still hear me?
You're frozen. I can hear you, but your video is frozen.
I know. Everything on this end, including my Mac for some reason, is
Idaho.
frozen. Yeah, it's this sunny weather that we're having. It's really weird. It's like I've never had this happen with my Mac. I can't even go to another screen. Everything is frozen. But before I go on to the next question, I wanted to there's a few questions from Chad that he had asked that I just kind of wanted to cover real quick. He had asked when we were talking earlier about covers, he says, don't the record companies take ad royalties with covers? And then he's also asking if you delve into selling royalty sound clips like on iStock, if you do anything like that.
iStock, no. I looked into it recently because I saw an ad for it when I was at the ASCAP Expo in Hollywood a couple weekends ago, and they want exclusive rights for that for iStock. So if you just got music that you only want up there, they want to kind of control that. So you can't, because I was like, oh, I'll just put my instrumentals up there and maybe I'll get royalties for that, and kind of put my music in more than one place and make money, kind of like the whole course thing and Udemy and Skillshare and what else is out there. But so no, don't do that. And then as far as covers, the person that wrote the song, they'll get the performance side of it, or sorry, the songwriting side of it, because they wrote the song. You didn't write the song, but you're performing, and so you get a performance royalty from that. And so yes, the ad revenue is split, so you don't get the full thing. You really want to check out tunecore.com or CD Baby. Check out CD Baby's podcast. It's called the DIY Musician Podcast. Ken on there is an awesome guy. I was just hanging out with him again at the ASCAP Expo, and they're making it a lot easier to record covers. TuneCore actually has something where you can actually record a cover and you can upload it to iTunes and Spotify and get paid for it. Wow. Again, you don't get the full thing because you didn't write the song, but it's making it a lot easier, and they're getting past all the licensing and all the restrictions and all this weird stuff that happens when doing covers. So it's getting easier in the digital wild west here.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for answering those. Hey, Matt, why don't you go ahead and ask that next question, and I'm going to reboot my Mac and join you guys again here in just a few moments because I can't even see the questions right now.
Cool.
Okay, so Chris, I saw that you raised $60,000 on Kickstarter, and I thought that was really cool and definitely an accomplishment for you. And I was just wondering, how does somebody get started doing that?
How does someone get started doing a Kickstarter?
Or I guess even getting close to like the amount of 60,000, if that makes it.
Yeah.
If there's like a cookie cutter like kind of game plan, or at least if you can point people in the right direction of where to look.
For sure. Doing Kickstarter, and I did it actually on Pledge Music, and so I guess I should say my crowdfunding campaign. I did 3 of them, so it was 3 of them, and I the first one I did was my book. It was my book, Fighter: 5 Keys to Conquering Fear and Reaching Your Dreams, and I had to conquer fear myself to launch that crowdfunding campaign. We had all the content ready. We had behind the scenes footage. I had pictures of me writing, talking about the book, all kinds of content so that we could post things and share. We had the promo video done. We had so much content in there and different packages for people to support. But this is the one thing I want to say about Kickstarters, if you're going to do one, or a crowdfunding campaign, is people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Go watch that Simon Sinek talk and really think about why it is you're doing that, because people love to support why you're doing it, and they love to support something that they are a part of. And so when I did my crowdfunding campaign, I always got people to vote on the covers, to give me input and bring people into it. It's not like, hey, I'm doing this, buy my stuff. It's like, hey, I'm creating this, would love your input on it. And it's a journey. It's a total journey. And I've learned a lot. All 3. I saw some friends do it, and I just thought, hey, just push the button and all this money starts coming in. But I've never worked harder in my life, and it allowed me to really connect to my fans. So we were posting all the time on social media every single day. Your first week and your last week are the most important, because it's your launch, and then you're really pushing with scarcity at the end, and then everything in between, keeping the conversation going, new packages, updates, and having really good quality images, and having a realistic goal is really important too, and understanding whatever platform you go with. Kickstarter, I'm going to actually use an actual Kickstarter next time, because it's really got the name, and it's kind of like no holds bar. It's kind of like you either raise the money or you don't. And I've actually even taken courses to learn more, but I've heard that the best campaigns are the ones that are 30 days. But if you're going to do that 30-day campaign, you better wipe your schedule clean and make sure you can put a lot of time into it and effort. It becomes your job. And then there's the whole fulfillment aspect of it and having to ship it out. And I don't know if I have my book here, but we did a hardcover, and I didn't have enough for the shipping, and the book was so heavy, we got nailed with international shipping. And so you really need to plan out your packages and make sure you put some cushion, because people are supporting, and you want to make some money because you want to pay for your time and all your effort, because you're not going to be working. You're going to be working on this, pay for the product, and also help to market it and get the word out there. And that's what I think a lot of people forget in book marketing and album marketing is, sure, it's the product, but then that you spend money on, but then it's all the money you spend marketing the product and getting the message out there. I think as us as creatives, we just like to create it and then just put it out there. And it's like, oh, okay. But it's like, no, like that's just when it just starts. Like that's the same thing for Udemy courses, right? Like, sure, you created it, but the real work is marketing it. Right. And so it's the same thing with your Kickstarter or whatever. But I challenge everyone, do a Kickstarter for whatever, like try one, because what I love about them is it builds buzz. It builds momentum, as opposed to just like 2 weeks before you got the product and you got 2 weeks. Instead of 2 weeks, man, if you do the 90-day, which I actually prefer the 90-day, you got 90 days of talking about this thing that is coming. And that's what movies do. Like movies do a whole year. right? Like how long have they were talking about that Superman versus Batman, or, the next Star Wars, or whatever. Like they're ramping up the buzz, talking it up in trailers and behind the scenes and, leaks. And then all of a sudden, boom. And then they just smash it the day, and it's an event. And that's what I like to tell, artists, and like, I need to apply this stuff to my Udemy stuff. It's like, it should be an event when you launch something, and it should be like this, like it's a big deal, make everything a big deal, So I'm rambling again. Sorry.
No, that's awesome. I love that advice, and it's making it an event and telling a story and leading them in a journey and giving them a reason to stay. And those are all the stuff that you were doing in a very organized way, and things that I need to get better at, and reasons why I interview people like you is so I can learn as well.
Cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. And see ya.
Good. You know what? It wasn't rebooting, and I thought, okay, something's going on with the battery. So I picked it up and started running downstairs to my bedroom, and then it started booting. So I went back up the stairs again to get everything set up. So I'm back. So I missed the Kickstarter part, but I can watch that later. So what I wanted to ask you, so it's really important that anyone from a musician to a Udemy instructor, or just anyone who has a product to sell, to have a website. And one of the things that I've noticed on your website is that you're using, it looks like Shopify for your e-commerce platform. And so I'm wondering, because there's other ones out there, I know that WooCommerce is, I think, one of the largest when it comes to WordPress. Why you chose Spotify specifically, and just let the listeners know, is it easier to use?
Yeah, before that I was on a platform called Store Envy, and what I liked about Shopify is I could sell digital downloads too, right? Like, so what sucks about iTunes, and please go buy my music on iTunes, it's great, but iTunes doesn't give me their email addresses. iTunes has, how many hundreds of thousands of albums and singles have I sold? Can you imagine if I had those email addresses? I would be a very rich man right now. So we really promote, our music to my store, so we can get those email addresses and have that info. And I don't ship my own stuff out anymore. Thank God. You'd be surprised. We actually finally delegated that. So we have all our other guys do the shipping and packaging, and that happens in California, and they even press our shirts and different things. But I just chose Shopify, I think, because I heard it through a friend or whatnot, but I don't even manage the store anymore. Like, I'll upload new music when we have, and I'll handle that side. But my guy, whenever we have new merch, they do all the photos now and whatnot. But they've got some pretty cool SEO and back end stuff. Mm-hmm. But I honestly don't have a ton of experience. I know it's popular. I know Tim Ferriss invested in it, but it's very user friendly. And worked good for me. To be honest, I think when I was looking for a digital solution, I was tampering with Infusionsoft, and I signed up for it and then got right out because it was just way too complicated for me. And Shopify was just so user friendly to sell products. Like, I've sold Udemy courses on there. Like, what I did was I created this thing called the Legacy Journey, and it had all my best courses for a certain price. And so what happens if someone would buy my courses there, it would automatically send them a PDF with all the coupon links. And so I didn't have to do anything. And so that was kind of a cool way how I used Shopify with Udemy.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that's interesting, because when I was in Seattle, my first contact with Spotify is I worked for this woman who wanted me to do some stuff with some T-shirts, and it was interesting trying to integrate it into WordPress. So that's why I wanted to see why you went with that.
Well, Dave Espino, I know you guys know, we were hanging out having coffee at Starbucks at Disney downtown Disney a couple weeks.
That's right.
He was sharing about Amazon merch store, Merch Co. or something like that, and you can just upload your designs there. And they do all the printing, and it's becoming this massive thing, he was saying. And so I've got just another thing I got to look into.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
There's so many different revenue streams that we can pursue, and it's it comes down to focus and focus on what kind of things we want to pursue, right?
Yeah. I never understood it, man. Like this whole entrepreneur thing. Like I heard people in book interviews say like, yeah, it's like squirrel, you're always wanting to do everything. And I think like at this time of my life and with online, like I've never got so, challenged to stay focused and just be like, okay, what's the number one thing I'm going to crush today? Not 3 things, not 2 things, not 5. What's the number one thing that's really going to move the dial for me, and what should I invest my time in, and get rid of all the other stuff? Like what's really going to crush it? And like I need to put like that like in my like office, like what's the number one thing, and stay focused on it. Like I don't have my phone here right now. So I'm on this interview, and what me and my wife just released a course about being more productive and working effectively online. And like we talk about block time and putting your phone on silent and closing the email, because like we're just addicted to distractions. It's like this little shot of dopamine, like, oh, how many likes did I get, or what's going on Instagram or Facebook. It's like when you're working, work. When you're playing, play hard, like learning.
Yeah, good points.
Okay, so we'll take a step back for a second. You were saying that on iTunes, if you made hundreds of thousands of sales, and imagine if you had all these emails. Now that you're self-hosting all of your music and doing everything, and then capturing those emails, how are you interacting with those people's emails? Like how often are you sending out broadcast messages, and how are you engaging with them and as well as monetizing those emails?
Yeah, they go on to enlist automatically with MailChimp into our web store customers. And so I'll normally like send, like we just got some new shirts that we just released, some new designs. And so I'll email them whenever we have an update. I try to email once a week out to all my lists. The majority of sales are definitely for digital sales. They're not on the store. Like it does happen, but people don't go there for that. Like if they're looking at my music, they'll go probably to YouTube, Spotify, or iTunes, So unfortunately, I don't have the lockdown on that, or else that would be great. But it's kind of like when we release a new album, because you want those rankings, like if you get high enough rankings on a new launch, you get in front of a ton more people's eyeballs. But again, no, I don't get the emails, but that's something I need to consider doing, is maybe doing a promo every now and then. Say, hey guys, get the if you haven't got the album, get it for like half price on our site, and get those email addresses instead of giving to Apple Music,
So, hey, one of the things that I noticed, because we had a guest on a few weeks ago talking about Instagram and how people could build their Instagram following. So I noticed that you have a course too on Instagram. What kind of success are you seeing on that platform, and what suggestions would you make for others? Because they are like one of the top platforms. And in fact, Matt and I were talking yesterday, they just changed their logo, I believe, for the first time since Instagram started. That was changed yesterday. So, there's probably a lot of talk about that. So what would you suggest to our listeners on getting some traction on Instagram?
Yeah, well, first of all, keep it the same if you can, like as far as your branding on each. So if it's facebook.com/your name, same thing, try and get your name for Instagram. Keep that consistent. Choose a theme and decide what it is you're going to post on. I know some other bands and brands like have a certain color scheme, whether that's black and white or it's very colorful, and consider it as like your job and not just this random thing you post to. And like, oh, I was at Starbucks the other day. Oh, okay, I'll take a picture. I was, in the bathroom the other day. Or hanging out with this person. Like, it's just like, think about it strategically as a business and a theme of like, what do you want it to be? Because Instagram is like a magazine. It's like beautiful photos. Like that's what people like. So really think about what do you want your page to look at. And you might not know right away. Go look at some other Instagram accounts that you like. And if you need to like get some inspiration from it, say, I want it to look like that. Well, look like that other one, and decide and stay consistent with it. And I also say hashtags. max out your hashtags that are relevant so that you can get free traffic. It's amazing when I add certain hashtags regarding fashion or whatever clothes I'm wearing or something like that, because we tend to do that. I'll get new eyeballs in there and get new comments and get new traffic. So really powerful that way. And then just every post should be valuable to your end customer or whoever's consuming your stuff. Like, really ask yourself, is this a valuable post? Is this adding to people, or is it just a waste? I have a friend who's been featured on Instagram on the popular page like twice. The company's called Straight. It's a skateboard company out of Vista, California, STRGHT. But he built his whole business on Instagram. I like it more now because it posts automatically to Facebook, and Facebook's my biggest social media. But Instagram has been great for me. I've sold stuff on it, and you gotta, if you're selling something, you gotta point them to the website that you're whatever you're promoting. Like if I'm promoting a course or I'm promoting a song or a music video, I have to update the link because Instagram doesn't allow people to click off very easily. I forget what it's called, but it's self-contained. It doesn't allow you to click on a lot of external links, only the one that's in your bio. So when you're promoting something, you've got to make sure to update that. And then when you promote again, update it again and decide whatever it is you want to do. But I know there's Shalene Johnson crushes it and gets people into like a free webinar and sells a lot of her courses through Instagram and other products. So it's definitely a powerful platform, not just for the younger generation, but for many others.
Mm-hmm. Good.
That's good to know that your number one platform for marketing is Facebook, because for the next question, I have a friend in the music industry. His name's Ryan Sweezy, and he focuses mostly on playing shows at 3 or 4 different bars or restaurants every week. And for his benefit, for the other musicians out there who are doing something similar, what would the first thing that they should be doing, either marketing or if there's anything, the one most important thing they should be doing on Facebook too?
Well, don't post your YouTube links on Facebook, or do it very infrequently, because they're in huge competition, and literally Facebook will penalize you and not show your post as much, as opposed to you uploading the video yourself. Facebook is going to start paying artists very soon. I'm on a beta test list, and they're going to start monetizing and paying artists for their music content, which is really awesome. You're going to have an aggregator like TuneCore or CD Baby to kind of monetize that. But video works the best without links. If you want your post to be seen by as many people as possible, don't post a web link. If you're really trying to do the push, then you put your link, but then you're probably going to have to boost that post. And if I'm trying to sell like a $10 CD or a $20 shirt or whatnot, I'll invest $20 on a really good photo and let it run for a couple days, and I tend to make my money back. I tend to make over $20 before that 20 spent. I maybe spent $5 and people purchase stuff. And so don't be scared to boost posts. 3 times a day is what I like to do on Facebook when I'm really on it. 10, 1 or 10, 2, and 6, because people don't scroll past their feed more than 3 hours. So that's another thing too. Every 3 to 4 hours, you can post. Any more than that, then you're overdoing it. It's not Twitter. It's a different type of platform. So, yeah.
Interesting. Did you have any more questions related to that one, Matt?
I mean, if he wants to know, I'll point him to Chris's direction, and I know what his website is, and as well, I hope you have at least the link or a coupon ready for your new productivity course, because just seeing how many things you juggle and how many things you do, I'm definitely interested in taking that productivity course. So
Cool.
Yeah, I took his goal course, and it's like I've taken a couple of other ones, and like I always refer back to Gabby's blab that her one takeaway was being consistent, and I like your takeaway, that whole number one, what's like one thing that I can do today that's going to make the most impact. And so I have to remember it. And it's funny that you said that course got launched last night, because I launched a course last night. and it only took like an hour, I think, for it to get approved. And we know the discussion in the studio, sometimes people saying, oh, it's been 2 days or 3 days or whatever. So I don't know if something's changed at Udemy, or maybe it was the time of the day or something like that. But it got approved right away, and that's what I'm going to be working on, going to a coffee shop and promoting it. It's also my first course on Skillshare, and maybe we can bring that up too. Are you putting up courses on Skillshare?
I just started to, and I'm just grabbing a link for you guys for this course. It's
yeah, because Matt,
I'll send it to you
Matt
directly, but here's for everybody else. I'll send you guys the link later on directly, like the free link.
Good. Let's see if we can.
But
let's see if it'll work this time.
I uploaded to it, but I haven't gotten paid yet. You have to hit 25 students before you get paid, and so I know you have a Facebook page, Dennis. So you probably saw me posting in there a couple times, and my girl on Fiverr that promotes my Udemy courses, and probably going to get her to add Skillshare to that. I didn't even know you could create free links for Skillshare to kind of get that get to that 25, but I don't know if people get a free like monthly pass into that with that free link, or how that works, or if I'm just giving free, like I don't even know how that works, because if they're paying every month, can't they just take as many courses as they want?
Okay, so I'll answer the couple questions there. For a free link, they're just getting access to your course and none other. But then where you get paid, and you can also have this as a part of the 25 first enrollments, is people who do pay the monthly membership, and then if they do enroll in your course, then that counts. And you only need to get 25 students into one course before they start paying you. So then the next time you launch a course, you'll get paid starting with the first enrollment. So I'd say don't even give away your stuff for free after you get your first 25 students into one course.
Oh, so it's just one course you need to have with 25 students.
Yeah.
So I'm getting paid on all the other courses then.
Yeah. If you have one course, 25 students, then you're getting paid on all the other courses.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
I'm actually so maybe I'll make some money this month, Dennis. We'll see. You know, isn't it the 16th that they pay out or something?
And they only pay out for premium students who enroll in your courses.
Okay.
Not the free links that you give out. They won't pay for those.
I'll let you guys know how much it is. I'm not expecting to get a new car with it or anything like that. You know, maybe we'll see. We'll see.
You get about actually $2 per unique enrollment.
Okay.
So with every student that you have, you get about $2 from them. So they pay a lot more than YouTube or anything else.
Right. Well, what I've been doing is, because I've got quite a few courses on Udemy, I've started just uploading the videos before I go to sleep, just to kind of, get it done and then organize it. But again, it takes time to edit and stuff. And this is where I've really learned with my music business is it takes a team, to delegate. And why, like, put a price on your hourly, like what you're worth. And like, if I can pay someone $15 or $20 an hour, to do a task, because if I'm worth $100 an hour or $200 an hour, why am I doing a $15 task? Why am I doing a $20 task? And I've really struggled with that as an entrepreneur growing business, because it's all that cash flow, right? It's like, then it puts the more pressure on you. Okay, I've got to do something that is killing it right now. And it puts that pressure to kick butt. But I find the more I get better at getting people to help me with that kind of stuff, like Jerry is really good. He has some dude that helps him with stuff, and he talked about how his guy just took all his courses and he uploaded all of them to Skillshare. So Jerry didn't even touch that, from what I noticed in his courses. So, it's something that I'm getting better at, and hiring the virtual assistants and stuff. And there's definitely things that I don't do anymore, but it's like, okay, what's that one thing I got to free my time, because, we can always make more money. We'll never make, another ounce of time. So I'm rambling again. I know we're got to take a few more questions and cut it off here.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just like just thinking about that myself, with some of the stuff that I'm doing is like when you're making a course, you're not making a course just for Udemy. So you have to be careful that you don't mention Udemy in the course, that you can take those videos and share them across these different platforms, because Skillshare is not the only one. Matt and I have been talking about the last couple of days, the announcement with Amazon offering their video direct. And so now they're going to be in, I don't know if it's necessarily direct competition with YouTube, because there's one requirement is that it has to be closed caption. And so a lot of Udemy instructors don't have closed captioning on their courses, but it's definitely something to look into because it's new, and so you want to be an early adopter so that I mean, it's Amazon, so I don't think it's going to fail. However, they have released product before in the past, like their phone that wasn't that successful. So you never know, but still you want to be part of that. So hey. So you talked about one thing that you could do that would impact your day. How about one actionable item for those people who are online musicians, that some advice that you could give them so that they could sell more and earn more revenue with their music online? What would one thing that they could do that would impact that right away?
Hire a producer that has a track record of making hits. Your whole music career is built on your songs. I spend a lot of money to get one song done. I'm just going to, I paid for this one song to get done that I just released, $1,500 plus another 150 to get it mastered. Okay. And plus my wife did the single artwork cover, plus I had to pay $10 to TuneCore to get it uploaded. Okay. So we're like $1,700 for one song. That's to do a cheap song. Okay, that's not an expensive song. All right, I've sold, and I'm really just putting myself out there. We've maybe made a couple $100 off of it so far that it's been released. It's only been out a week, and that's actually not too bad. But $200, $1,700 plus in investing the time to do it like a course. And now I just want to kind of come back to the other spectrum here and why I love online courses. Online courses, just my brain, this microphone, this camera, and my time, and I'm monetizing that with a very low startup cost, I guess. That's cheaper than the $100 startup. That's the time startup, whatever you want to call it, just investing your time, and already making more than that. Again, obviously my music career is a lot bigger than my Udemy or online courses, because there's so many other income streams that come for that. But I'm just so excited about online teaching and like investing your time, and it just kind of blows me away how much I'll spend on a song that'll sell for 99 cents. And so I got to sell 1,500 of those. And sure, if it's on an album, we make T-shirts and all this stuff, and there's other ways to monetize it. It could get in a movie, and I could just get a $20,000 check just like that for being in a movie or TV ad, which is definitely possible. So there's ways, but it's just it's not cheap. But I just say to artists, invest in the songs, because you're going to perform those songs. They're going to be in TV and film. They're going to be in YouTube. And if people like them, that connect to them, then you get that multiplication factor. And songwriting is a gift that keeps on giving. What I shared to some of my students is I wrote a song 6 years ago and just got in a movie and just paid us like a really good sum. And I wrote it 6 years ago. Matt, I'm sure that eBay course you did a while ago, how many years ago, like, we're investing our time once and then we're getting paid like for forever. And that's what I love is trading, stop trading time for dollars, but invest it once and then continue to get paid.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Matt, about Udemy? Because like, I know me and Dennis have talked a lot. I'm just curious where both of you guys are actually at with it and like money side. And I don't know if it's your main income still or what. I'm curious.
Do you want to go first, Dennis, or should I?
No, you go first.
Okay. So Udemy was my main source, and now I've gone on Skillshare. I've definitely used Udemy and leveraged it to continue doing this full time. And because I think people just see other like places like Skillshare, Stack Social, wherever else I'm making money on, just sees like Matt Bernstein, 57,000 students and 30 different courses. So they ask me to be on their websites. Amazing.com too is going to launch and make some more money. So I'm kind of just trying to be everywhere with my online courses, because that's kind of the things that Rob Percival's doing, and he's a Udemy instructor who's made $3 million last year on Udemy. You can find his courses on Skillshare. You can find his courses on AppSumo, Stack Social, all these other places. So it doesn't seem to be affecting his Udemy income by being everywhere. We're allowed to do that. And now what you're talking about, like, I have these 57,000 students, like I would love their email addresses. So I'm building my own website so that next 57,000 students that sign up for skillhance.com, I can have direct communication with them. So
so Skillshare is your main thing now. Like you have 57,000 students there, or on Udemy?
No, sorry, on Udemy I have 57,000. So you kind of break it across the board, like a few thousand from Udemy, like almost 1,000 on Skillshare, 1,000 on Stack Social, and then I got like 10 other different revenue streams just from my existing content. So it had, like, since the pricing change, I've seen like a 50% decline in Udemy, but it's okay because I have all these other different revenue streams and not putting all of your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's inspiring, man. I got some uploading to do. Gonna have to boost up my internet upload connection.
Yeah, I still sometimes question what Udemy did with the pricing structure, and the reason why is because I look back at what JCPenney's did. Because if you look at the mindset of the consumer, is that the consumer is looking for a bargain, and I know that a place like Kohl's, which is a large department store here in the U.S., that they mark their merchandise up and then they discount it a lot. Like when you have 50, 70, and 80% off, you're like, okay, that's because you've got your regular price so high, but they're always having a sell, and that's what consumers like, because in their mind, they like to think that they're getting a bargain. And so on Udemy, when you had, even though we know that $300 is probably too much for a lot of the courses that are on there, we know that the mindset of the consumer, when they see that they're getting something that's $300 for maybe like $5 or whatever, because I did the dollar coupons on $1 courses, and I know that was doing well. It was a lot of volume that was going through, and that was beneficial to people in other countries where a $10 course, it's just way too much for people in other countries. Now in the U.S., yeah, I think that's a fair price, but even so, you have to remember that people coming to Udemy, they have no clue who I am or you or Matt or whatever, unless they're a student that they're following you, they've been following you on Udemy. So now the courses are, $20 to $50, but at 50% off to a lot of people. They just don't think like that they're getting a lot. And so I think that's kind of has affected the sales. Because I've talked to one instructor who was making $8,000 to $10,000 a month, who has not even hit $1,000 yet this month in May. So
that's rough.
And you see some of the other discussion, and Matt and I had, I asked him about another instructor who we know does well, and that individual mentioned in one of the groups that they're struggling too. So when you see some of these top instructors that all of a sudden they're struggling, you know that something's wrong. So Udemy is also telling people, like, wait 1 to 2 months and things are going to correct themselves. It's going to correct itself, because we're going to have an entirely different group of people who have never seen Udemy or whatever.
Right.
Many people can't wait for that, because I think a lot of people, when you're making that kind of income, you're never really prepared for when you take a hit or anything like that. And so you're living this certain lifestyle that you expect a stream of income. And all of a sudden that stream of income is a fraction of what it used to be. I think people start to panic. And so Matt, I think, has done the right thing by diversifying himself with his website, his business that he's creating, putting courses out there in other places. Myself, I've been doing the Udemy affiliate marketing stuff, and it's done last month, it was like over $700, which was, a decent month, because the most that I've had that up to is about $1,000 so far. And so doing well this month, but I did month was my best month in 10 months, because I only have the course last night is course number 9 for me, and I've been on Udemy since middle of 2014, and it took me a while to get my second course and my third, and I do all this other stuff. I've had some medical stuff going on and all of that, but like Skillshare, that was my first course. I should have done that months ago with my courses, put that out on there. So now I saw how easy it is. So I just need to, one thing that Matt does is he organizes his hard drive so that you have all of your files for your courses organized, so that you can take when a new website comes to you, like, what's that one, amazing.com. So they came to myself and they came to Matt and other instructors. I haven't done anything with amazing.com yet, but if you have it all organized, then you can just say, here it is. And then you can have these different streams of income coming in from different sources. And you have the books too, and I have the books, and you have your music. I was going to say, I have been around the music industry because I used to DJ when I was younger, and when I lived in Seattle, there was a band called Super Deluxe that a friend of mine we used to follow, and they have been in a couple of movies, like Kingpin was one of them. Their music was in there. So even though they're no longer around as far as a band, I'm sure they still get royalties for that, I would assume. But anyway, so that's kind of what I've been doing, with my income. It's not where I want it to be yet, but like Matt and I have talked about the stuff that we do, like this blab, and you mentioned earlier these interviews. They help because you discovered us from something we did over a year or so ago with other instructors. And I get instructors like Rob Cubbin and even Grant Weirley saying that we've had people contact us from those hangouts that we did, a long time ago. So that's nice to see, because these kind of things have longevity. So, by the way, just a reminder that you can watch the replay of this blab and other blabs. DennisJSmith.com/blab if you want to watch the full blab, and Matt will tell you in a bit where you can listen to these too on his website. So I think that we're almost to the end. So where can we find you out online?
Yeah, you can go to smartmusicbusiness.com for the more music business courses and stuff. Obviously Udemy, and then my music, manifest.com, manafest.com. You can look me up on YouTube, and we have over 25 different music videos and different stuff. Check out No Plan B. I shot that in Japan, so that was a fun one. Skateboarding, and got this crazy screamo dude from Tokyo in there. But yeah, thanks so much, man. I feel like this is great, and I learned a lot, and I'm glad we didn't do the call-ins. And just take questions. But no, it's great. I'm learning a lot, and I'm really thankful. Thanks for chatting, and I feel like we all walked away learning something and got inspired here. So it's good.
Yeah, you got the last question, and then let people add online.
I don't know what you mean by question, but thank you, Chris, for coming on. We did learn a lot, and I hope that you did too, and I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I'll have to get your email. I have Dennis's email, but I'll get him to forward me yours, and we can connect through there as well too.
Definitely. Dennis, what question were you talking about?
It was last bit of advice for our listeners. So just like one bit of, because I mean, for musicians, you give the advice for musician, but just everything that we've talked about, one last bit of advice before we go.
Stop procrastinating. Stop waiting. Do it now. Create the course, do it afraid is what I like to say, and just get in the game. If you don't have a course yet, create a course. If you don't have a song yet, write a song. Action fuels success. You don't know until you put it out there. And there's not don't worry about the critics either. They just wish and hate and the trolls, and it doesn't impact nothing. Just keep going, never quit. So yeah.
Good advice. Don't worry about what others are saying, because there's a lot of people that will try to take you down, but just brush it off and keep going.
Yep.
So Matt, where can we listen to the podcast?
Oh, well, you can listen to it on skillhance.com, where I help hardworking individuals start their own successful side business. And you can listen to the Make Money Online show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we have a guest on each and every week that teaches you a new way to make money online. So I hope you appreciated Chris on the show today, and we appreciated having him on.
Yeah, and we're on iTunes too, and Stitcher Radio. So if you want to take us along to the gym or on your walk, you can certainly listen to the show anywhere. That's what I love about a podcast. I've actually taken road trips and listened to nothing but a podcast and learned a lot while I'm driving. Instead of music, a podcast is something that you can put in and listen to. So hey Chris, what was the name of that? Did you mention the website, even though I posted it to Smart Music Business?
Yeah, smartmusicbusiness.com.
Yeah, so smartbusinessmusic.com. He's got a lot of great stuff on there. He's got a lot of courses out there that if you're a musician and you're listening to this later and you want to know how to get started in the music business, or, because I see even here in Idaho, bands who play in local bars, you start out in your garage or whatever, and he's got the information that you need to get yourself out there online and make a lucrative living out of it. You don't need to be like a big major band to make a good living in the music industry if you do the right things online. The internet has allowed us to do that stuff and change lives, including our online courses, music, and many other things. So take advantage of that. Look at his website and his courses. So thanks, Chris.
Hey, thank you guys, man. We'll chat soon.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for showing up and watching today. Take care. Have a good day.
Team